Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Mistresses of Mayhem. Oh my God, we're here to talk about Woody's Rodeo Roundup barbecue today.
That's actually the truth.
Very soon.
Cardboard cutouts, the restaurant.
Surprise, everybody. No. You thought we were Halloween Horror Nights, but...
This is actually a Hollywood Studios podcast. We're going to be talking for 12 minutes, and that's it.
We're going to be talking Hollywood Studios tonight.
And 6 of those minutes will be about Muppet Vision.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You guys, this is a real tangent.
A few minutes
I already have one
there in there.
I have a tangent.
Go ahead.
Perfect.
I had a dream that they announced that Muppet Vision was closing, and I teleported to Hollywood Studios, snuck into the park as someone who worked there, and went to the last showing of Muppet Vision.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway, as you probably haven't guessed from anything we've said in the past 3 minutes, this is a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. And we're going to be discussing 3 house announcements.
We are. We might seem scatterbrained because we are.
It's because we are.
Yo, we behind as fuck.
We are 3 announcements behind. We are busy working gals over here.
Mm-hmm. What a way to make a living.
But you know what? We're here. We're queer. Let's talk about some fear.
I love that.
Thank you. That came straight off the top of my head. That might be my proudest moment of all time.
I think it was pretty good.
Thank you. I've got a cup of tea, so that's why I'm doing so well.
You're right.
Okay, so let's jump right in since we are running a little behind on the news that we should be covering. So first of all, a couple weeks ago, we got Stranger Things 2 and 3 coming to Halloween Horror Nights 29. Wow.
Oh, actually, before we get into this, can I just say something?
Yes.
I'm Connie. This is Connie.
That's a great idea. We should maybe introduce ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
We were so ready to Keemstar it and get right into the news. But we forgot who we were.
You can't just throw a Keemstar reference out there and expect us to continue on.
I mean, it just happened. So we need to it's carry on my wayward son.
Good.
This has already gone way off the rails.
So had. Okay, I'm Randy. I like scary things. I'm Randy, and the character I'm most excited to touch in the Universal Monsters house is Gilman.
All right.
Don't scare actors.
Please ask politely or don't at all.
Yeah, I mean, I ask very politely. That's the best I'll say.
It's gonna be okay because it's gonna be you, right, Melody?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes. I am tall, male, thin, and the type of body that would play a fish man. You got it.
Perfect.
My 5'7" thick ass is gonna be nice and scaly come October. That sounded disgusting. I really wish I had said that phrase.
Someone introduce themselves quickly.
All right. I'm Darcy, and up until yesterday, I was the most likely person on this podcast to fuck a character from Finding Nemo.
You shut the hell up, Darcy, right now.
One guy has this
Not a denial.
No, I'm just telling you to shut up. My name is Melody, and that was a one-time thing, okay? It's a consistent thing with her.
Oh my God.
I already said my name. It's still Connie. I haven't changed it. What up?
Beautiful.
You can't see me, but I just did like a cool like pseudo dab.
All right, John Cena, we can't see you, I guess.
Oh my
God.
Also, for once, I am the one who has the chat open on YouTube. So welcome, Cartage DeCarlo. I'm glad you've been waiting for this because so have we.
Oh, you thought you were the only... I am too.
All 3 of us
Amazing.
now.
I just can't multitask long enough because I also have show notes up to read the chat.
Holy moly.
We are professionals.
This is the best we've ever done. We say as we talk about wanting to have sex with Finding Nemo characters in the first 4 minutes.
My mom's listening to this.
Hi, Robin.
Whoa, okay, we have to clean it up for Connie's mom. Okay.
No, it's okay. She
I
knows
was gonna say, we gotta get dirtier for Connie's mom.
Hey, Connie's mom. Okay. As I was saying before we realized that none of us had said our names. Stranger Things seasons 2 and yet to premiere season 3 coming to Halloween Horror Nights.
I'm so excited, I say.
It's gonna be good, I think.
I haven't watched season 2 yet.
Me
and
neither.
obviously I have not watched season 3, but I've heard season 2 is fine and dandy.
I've tried to watch season 2 and I gave up on it because it was boring.
I actually like it better than the first, but you know, that's life.
My only thoughts on this at all were, so today, in order to research whatever we're talking about today, I went on the website of the HalloweenHorrorNights.com website.
Yeah.
And I read through the Stranger Things blog about the house, and here's what they said to expect. Demodogs, which I assume are like Demogorgons but dogs, and they're not the demo versions of dogs. Like,
It's going to be like Killer Clowns last year. It's going to be a Demogorgon-themed balloon dog.
Yo, actually though, I would love to see a professional balloon artist tackle making a Demogorgon out of balloons, because that is very feasible.
I bet that's already happened. I bet somebody's done that.
Honestly, with how like unnecessarily wild the Stranger Things fandom is, I agree. No offense to anyone in the Stranger Things fandom, but why?
Don't ask questions you know the answer to.
This is like a general thought, but the popularity of Stranger Things just is so boggling. Not because it's bad or anything, just how did it get?
Doug Dimmadog, owner of the Dimmerdale Dimmadog.
Oh no, I'm gonna cry
Graham
out
Coleman,
air.
already one comment of the night. Thank you.
Thank you. But like I was saying, I don't understand how Stranger Things got to be not only like massively popular, but like the cultural zeitgeist.
Yeah, me either. Because I don't know. Like, I know it was overhyped for me before I watched it, and then I watched it, and I thought, surely there's something here other than the fact that it takes place in the 80s that makes this like truly unique. And you know, there were some really good child performances, which, you know, that's nice, and some interesting ideas, but kind of nothing I haven't seen before. I mean, a lot of it reminded me of like, have you ever heard of this movie called Firestarter?
I've heard of it, I have not seen it.
Yeah, it's a movie my parents love, and I used to watch it kind of often when I was a kid because I wanted it to be me. But it was about like a little like psychic girl who could start fires and stuff, and 11 reminds me a lot of her. I don't know. I get that it's like a conglomeration of different 80s tropes into one show, but it doesn't actually look like an 80s movie or anything. And I thought the plot was sort of, I mean, I kept expecting something like insane to come and surprise me, and nothing ever did, and that's just in season 1. But I feel like we've already spent too long talking about Stranger Things, so.
That's true. I didn't plan to spend a lot of time on it.
I have at least one. Yes?
Oh, sorry. One thing I did want to add is I loved the promo video that it was set at Universal Orlando. That made my little heart go pitter-patter.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
I want to say just, I read the thingy on the website.
Yes.
My brain's bad today, and also all days.
I was about to say, it's all the time.
And the other places they're going to go, at least that they've promised us on the website, are Chief Hopper's cabin and the Starcourt Mall, which I'm excited just because I want to stop by and get some Chick-fil-A while I'm in there.
I was about to say, let's get some food in the house, because you know you waited long enough to eat a meal.
Yeah. I
Very
mean,
true. Do you think they'll have a pizza fry stand in there?
yeah.
It would not just be like peak HHN. Like we would have to stop after that.
Oh yeah, that would like HHN 29 would be the last one if they put a pizza fry stand in a Stranger Things house.
That would be it. Like they couldn't go any further.
The event would implode.
I'm already imploding. I'm
Ooh,
dead, guys. No, I'm dead. Sorry. This is a ghost you're talking to. Happy Halloween.
Very themed.
The one question I have about this house is, since we don't have season 3 yet, it will be out by the time the event starts, but it comes out 4th of July. Number 1, has the creative team seen or know about plot points in season 3 on one of the most protected shows in the world?
Yes.
And number 2,
They do.
will this lead to an uneven house like in previous years when something has come out during the event?
Yes.
Good point.
That's a good point because it's
Never forget 27 Blumhouse.
Or Crimson Peak in Hollywood, or
Oh,
yeah.
Dracula
That's
Untold,
Hollywood.
or any of those things, which were kind of missed opportunities because they couldn't reveal what was actually in the fucking movies.
Exactly, yeah.
Hollywood was a missed opportunity.
I mean, Hollywood is a missed opportunity, but continue. Scratch that one up your bingo cards, kids.
I know. I was questioning that too. If season 3 is coming out in July, that'll give us enough time to watch the show, which I'm gonna do because I have to do that completionist thing. But it doesn't give us a lot of time to make these things recognizable in our like collective consciousness.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm gonna go into a house and be like, oh, it's not like American Horror Story where I'm just like, that's Madame Lalaurie, that is Gaga, Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan, Canada, yeah.
Those are staircases I love.
We just called her Shaka Khan. That's legit. We called Gaga and the Angel of Death Shaka Khan because they both have strikingly similar names on paper. They're off by like 3 or 4 letters, and it's some weird like combination of S's, C's, H's, and TH's,
and some K's in there too.
Oh
whatever.
My God.
Yeah,
we called the Shaka Khan.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, yeah, that's about it on Stranger Things for me. We have
John Murdy has entered the chat.
That's what I just saw.
Scatter.
Can you imagine?
Somebody throw down a bottle. Fuck the police.
Fuck duh. Hollywood.
Okay. You guys, the next announcement. Holy shit. You remember when Shelby was on here to talk about Vamp 85 with us?
No.
This is it for me. It's Nightingales.
That was so long ago. I don't remember my own dog's name.
I remember your dog's name, you dumb.
What is it? What is it?
Titan!
You're right. It is Titan.
Okay.
Thank you.
You guys, this announcement made me weep actual tears. It's Nightingale's Blood Pit. Holy shit. We're here. It happened. It's happening.
It's happening. Oh my God, it's happening.
It's
The
happening.
Happening House by M. Night Shyamalan.
So, fun fact, Blood Pit, Nightingale's Blood Pit is the new name for my uterus.
Oh, honey, no.
Oh, no.
Honey,
We would have friends.
wow, girl, it's the last week of the month. This is literally a gladiator arena right now. Okay.
Oh,
So, yeah.
Okay. Words do not express how just excited I am for every single aspect of this. So let me do a reading from the Halloween Horror Nights website.
Oh, yes, read to us, mother.
Go
I
in,
just put
poet.
voice and diction, so hopefully this comes off really well. Imagine yourself transported back to ancient Rome, where a ruthless emperor reigns and gladiatorial games are put on for bloody entertainment. Rome is suffering its worst drought in centuries. The emperor has declared the games to continue nonstop until the rains return. The gruesome bloodshed of the games is horrifying enough, but then come the creatures.
Yeah.
Doesn't that just make you so tingly inside?
It does, actually. I want to get murdered next to, like, half-naked Roman dudes. And I hope they're speaking actual...
everything.
I hope they're speaking Latin or all, it's gone. They need to be speaking fluent Latin or it's dead to me.
I'm just the whole premise of like big, moist, muscly men getting ripped apart by vicious, tiny female creatures. Like that right there, this house is a feminist statement. We'll start with that. And no, but it's a great concept. People have been talking about a Nightingales sequel ever since the first Nightingales happened. It's one of those houses that I've heard about over and over and over again since I joined the Horror Nights fan base in 2014. And I don't think anybody ever expected this is the direction they would go with it.
Absolutely not.
Expected that they would go with another famous war or something like that. And they just went totally off the rails.
Well, and I would like to mention in our really fun episode that we did last time, where we talked about things we'd like to see return to the event, we almost all brought up Hades' Gates of Hell.
Yes.
Which has the Roman aesthetic. And then we were like, this hasn't been here in a really long time, and it's coming back this year.
Well, confirmed. We create Halloween Horror Nights now.
Not saying we know things, but...
We do have an important question. Will the Nightingales be in butch drag to blend in?
Oh my God.
Ooh, Ooh, Darcy. Darcy.
That wasn't me. It's in the chat.
Carnage DeCarlo, that is an excellent question, and my God, I hope at least some of them are. Because
I mean,
Nightingales in armor.
can we please? Can we please?
That would be so nice. So one thing that always gets brought up with Nightingales, is at least when people talk about the original, they always talk about the trenches, and they always talk about that horse that was in there that was getting eaten.
yeah,
Horses.
So
it could be a
horse
time.
loose in the haunted house.
Do we have a reference John Mulaney 3 times bingo
I think it's
square?
happened 3 times already tonight. If not, we're very close.
We've summoned him.
Oh my God.
Kid Gorgeous the house next year.
Oh Jesus.
Don't even.
I'm not gonna even say that.
There's a trigger that's just
Did that because
starts.
at least twice now I've done Universal actor auditions using the whole Delta Airlines bit as my monologue. So if I was not cast in the John Mulaney house, I would be personally offended and I would yeet myself to the moon.
So obviously those are really big scenic elements from the first Nightingales house that I mentioned, and and that's what a lot of people kind of remember it for, was A, really fun creature design, and B, amazing scenic. So what do you guys want to see out of the Colosseum?
The Colosseum.
Well, yes.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I have lots of different like ideas of things I might like to see. I know that this is supposed to be set during like a rainstorm, which as of right now, I think we can all agree that Horror Nights has mastered the art of weather effects in their house.
Well, it's during a drought. Do you think the end scene's going to be a rainstorm?
They mentioned the rain's coming at the end.
Yeah, because it said somewhere in the description, like, the rains have finally arrived, which is supposed to, like, you know, end the bloody battle, but that's when the Nightingales arrive as well.
Yummy, yummy.
So I have very high expectations for great rain effects.
You son of a bitch! The bodies, you only move the headstones.
You only move the gladiator games.
Why?
You only move their helmets.
So Colosseums historically have like kind of a vast, like, kind of black market almost underneath them. Sometimes they have like all these tunnels, and like people were selling things that like were worn by the gladiators there, and like
again, pizza fries.
Surprise, in the Nightingale's house. Surprise, that's not pizza sauce.
Oh no. Yo, what if it was Nightingale's Pizza Pit?
I love that. What a great restaurant name.
Yeah, it would
another tangent, but since it's coming up so much tonight, I attempted to order a pizza from Grubhub last night that never showed up.
Oh,
it was the saddest day of my life, and we keep talking about pizza, and
I'm so sorry.
Bad.
I never meant to trigger you like this, Randy.
It's okay.
We'll change the subject.
Yeah. I agree, Carnage DeCarlo. I'll riot if the Nightingales don't fight a lion. And we all know they have a lion puppet because it was in Scary Tales last year.
Yes. Why don't... Yes. I would love that.
Graham Coleman has just commented, Nightingale's ball pit.
Oh!
This is just like DashCon.
We all get an extra hour.
I can't believe we all really just came back to DashCon.
I mean, is someone going to pee in it, though? That's the real question.
Did anyone pee in it at DashCon, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was dark time.
Okay, enough about that.
Change the subject.
I think this has the potential to be an all-timer. I can't lie. Everything about this sounds just so fucking badass. Like, oh my god.
But here, I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate real quick. We all said the same thing about Fallen.
Don't talk to me.
Listen. There were still a lot of things I liked about Fallen in the end.
Yeah.
But I think it fell short of some people's expectations.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god.
And yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to reserve some excitement because on paper, this sounds like the greatest thing ever. But in my brain, I have a hard time imagining specific scenes. So either A, they're going to surprise me and it's all going to make perfect sense and be incredible and perfect, or it's going to come out disjointed, which is what I'm afraid of.
Okay.
Or that what's going on is not going to come across as clearly as how we think it will.
That's
if that
fair.
makes sense.
There's one scene that I'm interested in.
Yes.
And they mention this kind of ruthless emperor a lot on the website.
Yes.
And I'm like, I want a Nightingale to like be like hoisting up like the head of this emperor or something, you know, like just a total like takedown.
Yep.
Full body, please. I
I
want a tiny person in robes standing above me, holding an entire corpse wearing a toga.
Yes.
Is what I'm saying.
All right.
Also, no one's touched this. The Nightingales in the first house were all obviously in World War I nurse outfits. What are they going to be wearing this time, togas?
So true.
They are all going to be wearing the prophets of a prophet of Delphi, like just that outfit, which is again just a toga. I'm just saying it's bed sheets, everybody.
A lot of bed sheets, yeah. I would love to get, I think it's going to be spectacular, and I'm really excited.
What if they're just in the nurses' outfits again and it doesn't make any sense?
You didn't have time to change between time jumps.
Are they Doctor Who?
Yes.
Well, you know what? So it says they've been around since the beginning of time. So I like to think they're just like a secret order that, like, maybe they don't time travel. They've just always been around.
In which case, during the Roman gladiatorial fights, they made the World War I nurses' outfits in the hope that someday people would wear those clothes.
That would be really silly.
Oh my god. Guys, it's confirmed. The Nightingales caused World War I.
Oh my god.
You just opened a rabbit hole I really don't want to go down on this podcast that is light and fun.
So we're gonna have everybody, we're gonna have a second podcast coming up in sometime never, but it's gonna be called like Mistresses of Mayhem, darker stuff, thanks.
Real life issues and problems that Horror Nights IPs involve.
Were the body collectors involved with 9/11? Jack the Clown and Columbine, what you don't know.
Okay, before we get too spicy, 2 comments that I want to read from the chat.
Go in.
Carnage says they'll still be in nurse's outfit because it's part of their body.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Is that something confirmed? I did not go through that house. I didn't start attending till 24.
Same.
So everything I know about it is things told to me by other people or things I've read on the good old internet.
I will take more looks at those photos. There's a couple. There's a really good one from Monsters of Mayhem, and there's some new footage that has come out since the house has been announced on YouTube. And the Gambit informs us it's going to be in Sprung Tent 2, which in recent years has been home to some of the best houses: Dead Exposure, Scarecrow, Tomb of the Ancients. Hopefully the tradition continues. That's a good lineup to follow.
As of right now, anything about locations is purely speculation, and we cannot confirm or deny anything of that nature.
May I raise this point?
Yes.
That was also the home of the Purge.
Oof.
And that is an oof.
The Purge.
I think we're all trying to forget that one still.
When you put an IP there, it's shitty, because the thing before that in that tent was Dollhouse of the Damned, and that was
my god, can you believe?
And then I think before that was La Llorona.
I think you're right. Yeah, that's a solid location. You know, I've never
for originals only.
For originals only. Yeah, I don't. They clearly they should
put
not
IP there. The rights get pulled, and you have to do the Purge.
Hashtag RIP Scream.
Here's something that we should discuss though. Our favorite F word: facade.
Facade.
Yes.
I was gonna say fuck.
I was gonna say fuck.
Oh my god. So what any thoughts on facade for this?
Stand by to show him facade.
No.
Sorry. Anyway,
tent. It's not gonna have like a big house facade, probably.
Well, they've done really good facades for this location of all the ones you just named.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't know. The other tent I think tends to have stronger facades, but I like I'm thinking mostly Tomb of the Ancients. I liked how that facade, and this is going to sound weird, but it was sort of vague and natural feeling, and I would sort of be okay with that same vibe coming to Nightingales. Like, so my first the first thing I imagined for a Nightingale's facade is, oh, you're entering the Colosseum, but maybe that would make a much better mid facade in a house where you start out somewhere else and then you go into the Colosseum and see the carnage. So perhaps, like Randy said, you could start out entering a tunnel or something along those lines. But
I do like the idea of them
building.
I mean, I would love. This probably won't happen, but I want them to build the entire Colosseum around the tent.
Ugh,
like the entire Colosseum.
That would be next level shit.
No, have it in Italy? I don't know.
We'll import a Colosseum.
And that's right, important.
Poseidon's Fury facade.
Oh my god.
Darcy, don't even say those words to me.
I didn't say those words.
Yes,
I was
Graham,
reading
I saw it.
the chat.
I saw it right as I looked down. Girl, I'm sorry, okay? I was taking my tea back out of my cup.
You're just really quick,
You're
Darcy.
talking to the
It's a good
person
thing.
who completely separated herself during an icebreaker during her day 3 because I was the only person in the room who actually liked Poseidon's Fury.
No,
It was tragic.
that is tragic. I also just want to mention that Carnage has noted that the facade will be a bathhouse.
I mean, one, does that mean I get to get my feet washed first? Because I'm
Does that mean I
down.
get to be naked?
Yes?
We have no way to know that for sure. I appreciate your input, but we don't have any confirmation of any of the stuff from.
Are you still there? You a robot, girl.
Yeah.
Hello?
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 Hi. I missed the entire thing you said. It
Yeah,
just
you
sounded
had a
like...
here.
scramble moment.
What did you say, though? Because I missed it.
Darcy just cut out.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
we're gonna soldier on.
We're gonna keep
Darcy?
going. Darcy?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm just quiet.
It's okay.
We're great at podcasting, guys. This is
We're really good
really
at podcasting.
intriguing content we got here.
Maybe Connie could edit this out when she puts the podcast
Okay, there we go.
on some other
I thought you
platforms.
Here, fun. Are we doing a fun segue into this
Doing a fun
announcement?
segue.
Like a mid Halloween Horror Nights announcement for our hey guys. In case you guys don't listen to the end of podcast, this is just gonna be right in the middle of the episode. But I am currently in the process of uploading all of our episodes onto other podcast listening places such as Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcast, not Stitcher, but I'm gonna figure that out soon. Pocket Cast, Rocket, Anchor, other ones. So please, if you guys want to know guarantees that it's going to be good, because I'm just using Audacity to edit this in my living room at night. Also, I need to figure out how to use GarageBand so I can make this like a fun musical thing.
Oh, same.
Oh
I've
my
been meaning to write us an
God.
intro tune for like years.
Yeah, but good. Look for us on Mistresses of Mayhem. The little icon that I made us is like a fun little cute little graveyard scene with a moon and like a headstone. So hit us up. Only 3 episodes out so far, but I'll be putting more out faster as I'm slowly getting the hang of how to do this. And I listen to podcasts and they always say things like hit subscribe, give us 5 stars, comment or something. But I don't know how to. I don't have Apple. I don't know how to do that thing. Just enjoy it, guys.
Do you think any of us really know how to do that thing?
Whatever what we're doing, it's fine.
It's a slow process, y'all.
It is.
A slow
And honestly-
process that's taken us like 2 years.
Yeah, where did Melody go?
Oh.
Hello?
Oh.
Hello? Are you back?
Hello? Yes,
Hello?
I'm back. I'm so sorry. I had a slight internet connectivity issue.
Okay.
Okay, well, you sound fine now, so that's good.
Hello?
Hello. Can you hear us?
Okay. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Yes, I can hear you just fine. I had to switch from the home network to the church network. So
Oh.
Okay. Cool.
Which, surprise everybody else, we are recording, each of us is recording in a different church around the world because we want to bring sin into this place.
Oh my god.
absolutely.
That was a lie.
I'm actually on Civil War battlegrounds right now, so take that as you will.
I'm
Bae.
Right.
whoa.
Strictly on
Listen.
universal property.
That's amazing.
That's true.
Nightingales 3, Civil War. JK, that's another good topic we're not gonna touch.
Oh, I need Nightingales 3 to go in the future. I need to be in outer space. I want to have a
Getting
Nightingales in a
Nightingales.
spaceship.
Cyborg Nightingales.
Cyborg Nightingales
Okay.
in a spaceship. Dab.
We have to continue on to probably one of the most exciting IP announcements ever in the history of time. Universal Classic Monsters.
I love time.
I love monsters.
Yes.
I have a lot to say about this house.
I'm excited to hear it.
Okay.
So let me do another monologue from the website. My name is Randy. I'll be performing a monologue from the Halloween Horror Nights website. My resume is on
I
your
actually
desk.
feel like we'll probably talk about this one the most.
We probably will. You'll slip into each monster's domain. Bullet points. Love those. Dracula in his Gothic castle, Wolfman in the Bavarian forest, the monster in Frankenstein's lab, creature from the Black Lagoon, the ancient evil of the mummy, and the bride, and possibly the hunchback, are indeed in the key art.
Nice.
The hunchback might be Igor. No one's really sure on that one yet.
I'd actually
It would make sense if it was the Hunchback.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I think they should have the entire Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Disney cartoon movie, or the techno bop 1970s musical, whatever, in the house.
Hell yeah.
I could not agree more. I'm excited to see how they execute.
It'll be like
The cartoon
Hollywood
gargoyle?
Untitled. They just like play it on all of the black walls.
Perfect.
John Murdy has left the chat.
John Murdy, no!
Anyway, this is a holy shit.
Good
Like,
riddance. I'm just kidding.
listen, the Invisible Man is there too. Did you see him? Oh my God, Carnage.
You're right.
No,
Well, see, that's the thing. Even if they don't put him in, who can say he's not there?
I didn't.
He is in our hearts. At the
Honestly,
very least.
so true. You feel something brush against your shoulder. He's just flirting with you.
Honestly, I can see a really good mirror scare with the Invisible Man, honestly.
See, I would love it if they. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can hear you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it wasn't coming up on my screen. That like my sound thing. Anyways,
We can hear you.
I would honestly. So I liked the Hollywood House last year. I think it's one of their strongest efforts that they've had in a hot minute. You can tell that the budget was poured into it. You can tell that anyone who worked on it cared about it. In comparison to other Hollywood ventures.
That's fair. They really did a great job.
They did. And I think the Invisible Man scene really stood out as just a fun theatrical moment in a haunted house. I would love to see that replicated. I think the way they did that effect was great with the black light and then the black fabric behind him and everything. It totally worked. And that's my favorite scene of the house. So that's the one thing that I hope they like straight up replicate, that and having a Frankenstein that's carrying the little girl, because I thought that was iconic.
Yes.
Oh.
And then I'll be the little girl. Carry me. Carry me.
You'll be the
I'm
little girl.
also
Yes.
excited that this is going to give a boost to the numbers of the Universal movies in terms of people watching them again this year. And
Yes.
we're like, oh, I'm going to do my research. Let me watch these movies. And they're classics, and every horror fan should see them. I don't care if you think they're scary or not. You need to see these.
I completely agree. I actually was just having a conversation, maybe on Twitter or Facebook, I can't remember the other day, about how at this point the monsters, the Universal monsters as we know them, are almost more concepts than characters to most people. People know what Frankenstein looks like, but very rarely have they actually sat down and watched the 1932 movie. So,
And it is good. It's amazing.
yeah, it's great.
That's what I was gonna say. When I first saw this Universal Monsters house, I was like, "Oh, cool! It's the Monster Mash, and it's gonna be a graveyard smash. They're all gonna be there. Like that's what it's gonna be, and it's gonna be great. And I'm gonna have a graveyard smash. Don't worry.
Absolutely.
Atmospheric, echoey Monster Mash plays in the queue.
Oh. Please,
They
please.
did the mash.
Bum, 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 bum.
They did the monster mash.
Can I again need to learn how to do music just so I can make that?
Yes.
I might be able to figure it out. I'll see if I can post it in the next couple of days. I'm
It needs to
about
be-
to be out for summer break, so.
The monster mash, but like with a ton of reverb and slowed down.
The Icons treatment where they make it
Yes.
like
Yes.
That's like the way they did You Ought to Be in Pictures, except it's the monster mash.
Side note, just like a quick tangent. This is Connie speaking. If anyone out there has some copy of that reverb version of all of those songs that were played in Icons at 25, I will literally sell you my firstborn child that I was not expecting to have. I will have one for you to have.
All right,
If
I
you
will
give me those.
impregnate Connie so we can sell you the child so we can have that audio.
I want it so badly.
I love how we're already talking about bearing children and such on this Universal Monsters house, which people have already been like, so Fishman, huh?
We're gonna get down.
That's the
Listen.
real graveyard smash.
Whoa!
No. The real graveyard smash is when Mary Shelley lost her virginity on her mother's grave.
Oh, goals.
Look, we stand in the shadow of one woman, and it's Mary Shelley.
Honestly, yes. Feminist icon right there.
True facts.
Beautiful.
But I have I don't know, it's hard to like, because I can already tell that this is not just going to be like a transplant of the Hollywood one, but bigger. We lay our houses out differently. We don't have the option to go inside and outside like they do. From the looks of it, we're using characters that they didn't use. What I'm getting at is there's just going to be a whole lot that's different. Even like the Slash score, I mean, you hear stuff rumored all the time, and I'd heard some people say, "Oh, they're going to bring this to Orlando," and everyone assumed the Slash score would come with it, and that has not been in any of the marketing. So I'm going to assume that that's not happening, and we're going to get some orchestral music, which
please.
I think we all love. Nothing against the Slash soundtrack; I thought it was fantastic, but it also felt very distinctly Hollywood.
That's true.
That felt like a very Hollywood move, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's one of the coolest things they get out there are these music-related houses. But I like that we're doing our own thing, just using like basically the same promo art.
Yeet.
Yeah, I would be really down for that. I also think that the scores to these films, for the most part, are just so amazing.
Yeah, it's one of the things that's most atmospheric about them, and to lose that in a house, and not that the house is going to be bad either way, but I think it would certainly add a tone to it that Hollywood's didn't have.
Yeah.
Did that sound like an adult thing to say?
Sure did.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's also just like one of those things that like when you watch a movie when you're a kid, I think the music will really stick with you in a way and it can really evoke those memories or those feelings. Like when I hear the Creature from the Black Lagoon, like chromatic horn thing that is in that movie all the time, I immediately just remember wearing out the VHS tape.
Yeah. So.
Also, shout out to my dad talked about they were going to show Creature from the Black Lagoon on TV, and I think it was either the 70s or the 80s, and they sold 3D glasses to watch it with at 7-Eleven stores.
That's kind of cool.
And so the plants underwater and stuff were like 3D. It was awesome.
Do you think he's going to have an anatomically correct fish penis, as we saw in The Shape of Water, the Oscar award-winning Shape of Water?
We didn't see it,
I hope
though.
that's their collab with Guillermo.
We saw it on the internet after the fact, Connie.
Like, if that's like the collab that we end up getting in Orlando with Guillermo, where he doesn't do like a whole house or one of his films, it's just a dick.
He designs a single piece of genitalia to be used on a costume.
And then Bad Dragon will pick it up and they'll sell it at the event.
Perfect.
God.
I'm so ready for this.
I'm so sorry, Mom. My mom told one of my cousins to listen to this podcast.
Well,
I was like, why did you do that?
Listen, when you are a young woman who at one point was an outcast, emo, nerdy child, you develop certain interests, and that includes non-human men who treat you like a real lady.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a mood.
Yeah.
We're going to plug another person's YouTube channel, but I'm sure Melody will agree with me on this. Lindsay Ellis, famous YouTuber, has a wonderful YouTube essay on why the Beauty and the Beast sort of story of a woman falling in love with a hideous creature is very popular with women. And it's very good.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's an excellent video. If you are not into Lindsay Ellis, you should be. She's a fantastic commentator on a lot of the types of topics that we like to talk about, like the feminist theory and various Transformers stories.
Yeah. And her Hobbit essays are just incredible.
Absolutely incredible. Yeah. So let's plug someone who's a million times older than we'll ever be. But no, you're totally right.
I think a Hugo Award for those Hobbit videos.
What was that?
She's up for a Hugo Award for the Hobbit videos.
Oh yeah.
Really?
I hope she wins it.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, back to the monsters.
Yes, back to Universal Monsters. There was something else I was gonna say.
Do you think the Wolfman will give us Bavarian cream cake?
More food in hell, please.
I haven't had dinner yet. I just rushed home from work and I haven't eaten, so that's really all I can think about.
Oh, girl, Sam, I'm avenging the pizza tonight.
What if
yeah.
What if the house is just like a sit-down restaurant dinner theater?
Yes.
Character dining is all the monsters. Oh my god.
Wait a second. That's literally just Monsters
Beetlejuice
Cafe.
Graveyard Review.
Yeah, but then
Melody, you just
they'll be-
invented Monsters Cafe again.
Universal, I'll take my check in the mail.
Can we? But like, that tweet that's kind of a meme now, where it's like someone says like, it's just in the nature of humanity that every so often something like blank gets invented again.
No,
yeah, we just invented Monsters Cafe again.
Monsters Cafe round 2.
Heck yeah.
That's what the house is gonna be. But no, okay, we're gonna go back to that F word though. Facade.
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 Sexy. I think this would be Dracula's Castle.
I was about to say, I think Dracula's Castle is a shoo-in.
Dracula's Castle? That makes perfect sense. Do you think we would get any of the, like, you know how the entrance to the Hollywood one had all the graffiti, like the blacklit graffiti? Do you think we'd get anything like that? Or it would be a very straight, traditional, like, you are going into Dracula's Castle, you dumb bitch?
I think it's going to be very conservative. I think we're going to ride up in a wagon by, like, a Transylvanian man who's like, don't go in there.
To be
fair.
They
will kill you.
To be fair, if the rumored location is correct, we could get both.
Ooh.
We could get the graffiti outside and then have a facade inside.
True.
Very true.
That would be nice, yeah.
Do you think, like the witches in Scary Tales, Dracula will fly down at us? Because I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Actually, something I would love to see. This is something I did a different podcast recently where we like designed our own audio animatronic shows, and I created a Carousel of Progress style show based on Universal classic monsters.
Oh,
I know. Thank you. We'll discuss that later. One of the scenes I came up with was in the Shanghai Pirates of the Caribbean, that Jack Sparrow effect from the skeleton to the animatronics, something like that. Beautiful. Into a bat.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I would love that.
I would love to see some kind of scrim effect in this house that has Dracula like turning into a bat. It would just be a brief moment, but I think it's totally feasible.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Or we could just get a bat on a string that goes squeaky, squeaky, squeak, squeak.
Even better.
Stringy bats, yeah.
Imagine if there was a room
it's like the hand.
Yes. Oh no.
Bat on a stick.
Bat on a stick. Oh my god, will that be like the new waffle on the stick this year?
Yes!
Yes!
That would, I actually want to take that a step further. It's the new Amulet of Fear where you get a bat that lights up in the house.
I would love that, actually. That would be so cute. And then he turns into a real man. We can take him home, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's your new boyfriend.
Yeah. I love that Halloween Horror Nights has given me all these boyfriends over the years.
Right? So many boyfriends in this house in particular.
Thank you, Mike.
I just want to say this because we do joke about it a lot. Please don't touch scare actors.
Don't touch them.
No, we joke about we want to touch the Gilman's butt. None of us would ever actually do that. We would never touch someone without explicit, pre-discussed consent. But even then, just don't touch.
Yeah, don't be a fucking creep, guys.
Touch your friends, but in like a nice way. Good touch, no bad
touch your friend's butt after saying like, "Hey, can I touch your butt, bro?" And he's like, "Yeah, bro." Then touch his butt.
And then you're like, "Bro, it's very firm. You work out?" And he's like, "Yeah, bro, I do squats, bro." And then they're gay.
That's it.
That's it. That's how homosexuality happens.
Maybe.
I've been to science classes.
No, that's not true. J.K. Rowling is actually the one who decides who's gay.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my god.
Hey, this is a dumbass fan theory.
So topical. Yes, go on.
This is a real dumbass thing to say.
And we're dumbass fans. Continue.
Yeah.
Dark Arts fireworks show during Horror Nights?
Ooh.
It's over in Iowa, so I'd say no.
But like,
true.
I don't know. I want to see that drone Patronus all the time.
I do too. I mean, the thing is, I could, they normally keep Iowa open later than uni during HHN. So I mean, I could see them running it over there, but they wouldn't do anything over at Universal with it. I don't think.
I mean, since the integrity of JK's works has just slowly been on the descent, I can see her finally giving in and letting him do spook stuff.
I think she's getting angrier and angrier as it happens, so I don't know.
Oh, you think it's angry? I think it's just more cash grabbing.
Yeah, I mean, clearly there's a lot of original liberties being taken in Hagrid. So I think at least in
True.
some ways she's letting up. I mean, I don't know whether she designed the blast-ended Scroot or if someone at Universal did, but either
That
way,
was in the books.
it was. I know, but I mean, like the actual,
Actual design.
like the way it actually looks. Like I know it's described in the books, but you
The
know,
way it actually looks in real life, guys.
yeah.
Okay,
black
hold on.
women.
Someone just commented, the integrity of JK herself has been deteriorating.
Oh.
I mean, you're
That
right.
is exceptionally true.
She's just mad she could never write the perfect lovers to enemies trope that Poseidon's Fury achieved with Poseidon and Lord Darkanon.
Oh my god.
Never. That is the romance of the century, or the breakup of the century, rather.
It is, yeah, unfortunately. Well, you don't know. We don't know what happens afterwards. Maybe the makeup.
I feel like it was over after that. I mean, we see Atlantis like crumbling behind them. So I imagine Poseidon probably retired to like Atlantia where the Little Mermaid lives. And isn't it implied that Darkanon like explodes?
That's yeah.
I feel like when the other one explodes, your relationship is kind of over.
Welcome to Mistresses of the Ocean, the Poseidon's Fury fan podcast.
Can we have that? I would also be a part of that.
I could talk about Poseidon's Fury for weeks.
We could just have like lots of side podcasts that are just like mistresses of cleaning up. I don't do that. I don't tidy. I don't know
Hanging
how.
up with the Mistresses of Mayhem. Does it spark fear?
It doesn't spark fear.
Blumhouse does not spark fear.
Throw it out.
Into the blood pit.
That sparks fear.
Yes. Oh my god.
Hey,
I'm
I've
pretty
had
sure
more
Carlo
friends
said something.
explode, and our relationship has been stronger. Oh, speaking of stronger, I can't believe we have not said the phrase "stronger thongs" yet.
Stronger thongs.
My phone
Stronger
really is.
Thongs season 2 and season 3 coming to HHN 29.
I think I like stringer thighs.
Stringer thighs?
Or
I like stronger thongs.
Stronger thighs is really fun.
Stronger thighs. Really thick thighs. Just
Do
super
we have anything else
strong.
to say about Universal Monsters?
Oh, I do.
Yes,
I'm
go.
so glad they're gonna have Brendan Fraser in there.
Yes!
And I'm so excited that during the
Finally
mummy
get
room.
this cup of coffee.
Yes, and I'm so excited that during the mummy room in the house, we're just gonna ride the mummy the ride, and then it'll drop us off, and we'll just go back into the next room. Which
Oh my god.
yeah.
Imagine.
That would be, I mean, that'd be incredible. This actually, okay, so fun fact, of all the years that I have gone to Horror Nights, which is not actually that many, I've ridden exactly one ride during the course of the event. It was Minion Mayhem. It was my first Horror Nights, and Minion Mayhem was still new. It was the only time I'd been to Universal in years, and there was no wait. So we're like, let's just do it because we haven't done it yet, and then we'll go into the park. I was
Honestly-
new, okay? I didn't know yet.
No, it's okay. I think a lot of people actually did that with Minion Mayhem because it was like 5 minutes at Horror Nights because most of the Horror Nights crowd didn't really want to ride it.
Exactly, and it was new right then. So I was like, well, I want to do everything at
That's
least
just taking advantage of a good time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, and also I was with my ex who had terrible taste, and he was like, "Sure, let's ride Minion Mayhem." Victor would know better. But anyways, so this would be a very fitting year to ride the Mummy during Horror Nights, more so than ever, because it actually fits in with one of the houses.
I think every year I've tried to ride the mummy at least once, and he's like, "Get off of me," and I'm like, "Nah."
Oh my gosh.
Take my mummy to the old town road. Right till I can't. No.
If you want to divide the people of Nashville, if you want to make them feel some kind of way, bring up that song.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Living here while this has been happening has been a real trip.
Oh,
Anyway,
wow.
the two things I'm most excited about definitely going to Dracula's castle. It's
Yes.
such a good scenic again, and of course the good boy Gilman is gonna be there.
Yes.
Can I? Yes. Can
My
I stay?
personal- Just
In there?
there in the house? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, okay. Cool. Thanks.
We're gonna hide in the lagoon.
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah. I love me some water. I hope that we have to walk through actual water, and I hope that I get to put my feet in the water. I like that.
You know, the last time they put water in a house, it went great.
I was about to say, Connie, are you really asking us for Gilman hot tubs?
Ooh,
Yes.
I
No,
want
I am.
Gilman Hot Tub Time Machine. The crossover of the century.
oh my god. You thought Endgame was a big crossover.
No, but I want it to be just an in-ground swimming pool that we have to swim through, and he's in there, and he's like, "Hey, baby, how are you?" And I'm like, "I don't know. How are you?"
I'm having to swim in a haunted house. My cell phone is electrocuting me as we speak. God, please help.
That's the
But he does.
upside
He's very sweet.
experience.
Yes.
I'm also excited to see the bride. Oh my god.
Yes,
Ooh,
yes, I
yeah.
completely agree.
Is it? Her hair is so big.
Yes.
Is she Dolly Parton?
Yes. Oh my
Dolly
god.
Parton as the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yes. Wow, we have reached new levels at this point.
We're really on fire tonight.
I'm having a heart attack.
What if we held Halloween Horror Nights at Dollywood? I know. I know.
Let's get in there. Do we have to
No.
call her?
Listen, Dolly has a property maybe a couple blocks away from where I live right now. I'll just wait outside till she shows up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd be like, "Ma'am, how would you feel about holding a multi-million-dollar Halloween event in your park?" And she would say, "I'm tired. Leave me alone."
She would say, "How did you get here? Stop talking to me."
A side note, outside of the joke space, please don't sit outside celebrities' houses. Don't be a fucking creep.
Don't do that.
Please don't. Don't harass them on Twitter either. Please do not tweet Dolly Parton, "Can we have Halloween Horror Nights at your park?"
I'm sure all 8 people watching wouldn't do that.
John Travolta once bought me popcorn.
Wait, what?
What?
Anyway, so moving on.
Connie, are you in Scientology? Do you need help? Tap twice for yes.
John Travolta like lived in or near the town that I went to high school in. So
Oh yeah, I saw John Travolta at Denny's once.
yeah.
That
That
sounds very
He
surreal.
was just a common theme. It's okay.
It was like the thing was that John Travolta went to the Denny's that was attached to the Days Inn on 40.
Which is right across from Silver Springs. So
Yep.
we just have Silver Springs is where they filmed all the those movies.
Yes.
Those movies Tarzan and
Yes. Oh, they
something
filmed
else.
Tarzan and what was that other one? The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
We really just segued it right back around.
I did. They did. They filmed that in Ocala, Florida, in the Silver River, back
They
before
sure
it
did, yeah.
was polluted beyond repair.
And the monkeys.
And the monkeys. Yeah, well, those are from Tarzan, though, not Creature from the Black Lagoon.
No, I know, but it's before. I think it was before the monkeys. They must have done right.
No, wasn't Tarzan in the 40s?
Tarzan
Don't
was
fact check me.
in the 50s.
Don't fact check me.
Whatever.
There's no
Well,
fact checking in this.
The Gambit in the chat brings up a good point. Do you think we'll get the same creature design as Hollywood from last year? We have the same art. I'm going to go and say yes. I do think we'll get the same creature design. I thought the creature design in their house was absolutely spot on. So
I'll take it.
I would not be mad at that at all.
No, I would
I
not
just
be
want
upset.
like a fishman conference where it's all the fishmen. Like Abe Sapien will be there.
Yes.
The one from Kim Possible.
Forget tall men in trench coats. Fishman scare zone is where we are at.
Wasn't
Yes.
that Dead Man's Wharf?
Oh man, every so often humanity gets to miss Dead Man's Wharf again.
I was about to say Dead Man's Wharf, but sexier. But really, Dead Man's Wharf was real.
The height of
Very
sex.
sexy.
Dead Man's Wharf and sexier. No buts, only ands. We're an inclusive society here.
You
I love that. Dead Man's Wharf and sexier.
I'm gonna make an improv joke out of that at some point.
Please do.
I have to take improv next year, so I'm gonna yes, and this isn't inclusive. Okay, so that about wraps up with classic monsters. Anyone have anything else to throw in there?
I think it's going to be a absolutely fantastic house, and I think as far as like quote unquote filling one of the IP slots,
I'll take it.
because there are a lot of people in this community who want as many originals as possible and look down on the IPs. I am not one of those. I've always been very outspoken. I love the IPs. I think it's what makes Horror Nights unique from other Halloween events. But I think as far as what IPs they could have chosen, this is basically as good as it gets. Everybody loves this. It's classic. It's accessible. You don't need to have seen these movies to know what's going on. These are
But you watch them.
but it's great. You should watch them. But I'm
Watch
saying
them.
for most people, it's not going to be like walking through Stranger Things when you haven't seen the show, and it's like, well, I mean, this looks neat. Like, we all know what Dracula is. We all know what Frankenstein is. So it's accessible. It's scenically pleasing. It's
Ooh.
memorable.
I have one more joke.
Okay, go.
Hotel Transylvania. That's it. That's the joke.
Perfect. I mean, I'm ready for millions of Young Frankenstein jokes. That's my favorite comedy.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes. I got to see that movie in a theater 2 years ago, and it was just a joyous experience.
My boy Gene.
Connie's mom has popped into the chat to note that the monkeys were already there when Creature from the Black Lagoon was filmed.
Thank you so much, Robin. Coming in with the ultimate Silver River knowledge.
I literally told you not to fact check me. My own mother.
You got read for filth, Connie.
I deserve that. I'm sorry. Thank you, mommy.
Oh my god.
I'll cut that later. I'm gonna cut that.
When we edit it later.
You're not gonna do that.
So I have just a few speculation notes and then we'll finish up. And these are pretty minor. Speculation map came out today. People have been talking, of course, since last year ended. So a couple IPs getting tossed around still. Killer Clowns almost seems inevitable.
It's what it deserves.
I had one thing to add. This is kind of speculation and monsters, just before I forget about it. I know a lot of people had predicted we would get the monsters for HHN 30, and this sort of throws a wrench in that prediction. I, for one, think it's great because we had the monsters at 25, and doing them again for 30 would make 30 just feel like another 25. So I like that already. 30 is shaping up to be something distinctly different from 25.
Can I just really quick? My lights keep flickering in my house, so if I suddenly disappear, it's because the power went out.
All
Connie,
right.
they're aliens.
Can the aliens wait until we're done with the podcast?
I hope they're listening, honestly. It'd be cool if we got it to expand our listenership.
True.
Aliens, if you're listening, please.
Do a house next year.
I'm available.
You single.
Okie doke. Killer Clowns. I don't want to see it in a house, really, honestly, but I certainly will enjoy it all the same if it does happen.
Yeah, very, very likely. It's been talked about a lot. I could definitely see it.
I'll like it, but I think it did so well as a scare zone, and I don't know if we've had a great run as scare zones becoming houses based solely on the only other IP I can think of right now that did that.
Or even really houses becoming scare zones. Think about like Scary Tales was not very successful as a zone. Actually, no, Asylum in Wonderland going from zone to house, that worked very well. But that also is a lot more broad and open concept than an IP. I mean,
I will say IP houses have had trouble because Saws and Steam was a great zone and house as well.
The costumes are, they would be exactly the same if they were to do Killer Clowns this year. The music would be very similar, although I do like the idea that we'd probably get a lot more characters. We'd probably get all the human characters, which would be a lot to see.
I would love to see them, and I want to interact with them, and I want to be their friends, and I want to move in, and I want to be there, and I want to be one of them. I want to be a clown.
The thing that would excite me the most about the house has nothing to do with the characters and everything to do with seeing the inside of the circus tent, which is the one visual element that stands out the most in the movie that was completely not in the zone because it couldn't be in the zone. It was a zone, not a house. So I think if they really, really nailed the environment, it would really differentiate itself from the zone. I think that's the only way they could improve the quality of the zone last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that on that. I'm sure it'll be perfectly fine.
Carnage, assuming it comes. Carnage DeCarlo said scary stories to tell in the dark, and I would love that.
I would be so down.
Awesome. I love that idea. I have not necessarily heard that rumored any this year, but I like it. And I could see it happening after the movie comes out.
We'll see if it becomes, I think there's a lot of, it could go either way with Scary Stories and being like a massive success or like not a big deal. I'm curious if it attains like, like it getting like kind of a renewed cult status.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
I want to. Should we all get together?
I would be really down for that. And it would be another, I think Guillermo's producing, so it could be another Guillermo.
Do you think they'll have Fishboy in it?
Cameo.
Oh my god.
Do you think there'll be giant robots in it?
I'm always down for a robot. Okay, so our other piece of speculation that is still has really only picked up steam as the year has gone in is House of a Thousand Corpses.
Right.
Heard that rumored a lot. Love the idea. I think it would make a better house than it does a movie.
Fair enough.
That's true.
Guys, I don't care for Rob Zombie's movies.
Yeah, I would not consider myself a big Rob Zombie fan either. But what House of a Thousand Corpses really has going for it is it's bright, it's colorful, it's loud, it's chaotic.
Yeah.
And those are all elements that play really well into a house and I think would make a good adaptation. And Hollywood did House of a Thousand Corpses, right?
Yeah, they
Am I
did.
remembering that correctly? Yeah.
Thinking.
I
It was
remember
kind of just a seizure house. It was very 3D and they just had strobes the whole time and it was kind of
But I can see how like especially the character designs would translate exceptionally well into a house. I don't know. I have only seen that movie once and it was with my ex and I've forgotten 100% of everything that happened during the duration of that 4-year relationship except when I went to Horror Nights without him. So yeah, I need to rewatch it to really have much more of an opinion, but I do remember thinking when I watched it that I thought it looked neat, but I wasn't crazy about the story.
that's
I
Rob
wasn't
Zombie.
crazy about the filmmaking, but thankfully neither of those things matter whatsoever in a haunted house.
That's true. Also, just a fun fact of HHN trivia. If you have ever seen any of the panels with Erin Nicole Klein, who originated Chance, she started out as more of a baby Firefly than a Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Like she said, that's where she took a lot of her, when she was the first year that Chance was introduced, it was very from this story.
Yeah, I was actually at that panel.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
She they told her, take some inspiration from Harley Quinn. That's kind of where a lot of the visual came from, and she didn't even know who that was at the time. And of course, everyone was like, and she was like, shut up, nerds. I know now.
It was a different time. Harley Quinn wasn't
Say
super
that,
popular until like a couple years ago.
Yeah, and so, but she said I didn't know who this was, and she said she pulled a lot of the inspiration for the character and the performance out of Baby Firefly. So I would love to see, if sort of in like a circular way, like I would love to see when the event actually opens if this is to happen. We still don't know. This is Twitter speculation.
I mean, Chance is going to be in the house then, right?
I would love to see if someone was going to be like, "Hey, she reminded me of Chance." Like that'd be pretty funny if someone said that.
I would love it if they put a Chance Easter egg in the house. That'd be really fun.
That would be really cool.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait for that. I'm asking.
I could totally see a Jack Easter egg ending up in Killer Clowns if Killer Clowns were to happen.
Oh, 100%. I mean, if they don't, then it's a clown. It's a clown thing.
Listen, we know they have that Jack bag because it's been everywhere. So just throw it in.
Also, there was a clown house in 24 that had a Jack Easter egg.
True, Giggles and Gore.
Right before an anniversary year.
True.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah, that's an excellent point. That's I wasn't even thinking about that. We are a year before an anniversary year, so I could see quite a few Easter eggs cropping up over the course of the event.
This could be. See, I feel so. I started at Horror Nights, loving it, doing all the things at 24, which was the year before 25. Of course, we can all count, right?
I can't.
No,
never learned.
Sorry,
Sorry.
Connie, we'll help you out.
Thank you.
And I hope this isn't putting the cart before the horse, but I think this is starting to feel like the year before a big year.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense to you guys, I don't know.
Yeah. I do feel that because I'd have to agree because there's just a vibe that you get leading up to, during, and then the year after. Like I remember leading up to 26, how everyone was like, HHN 26? That just sounds weird to say because 25 felt so definitive. And 24 felt like a buildup. It's like the buildup, then the anniversary, then the after. It's like a 3-act story. So this is act 1 of the anniversary, basically.
Yes, and I wanted to say that because in my looking through speculation, I see we've kind of shied away from some really big properties. There are no classic slashers rumored for this year. There aren't any kind of tentpole kind of things like that. I mean, Stranger Things obviously is big, but that almost feels like a separate thing from the event.
Yeah, it does.
True.
It almost feels like a separate entity.
That's a great point. This is our first time in a while. We've had no Freddy's, Jason's, Michael Myers, Leatherfaces, anything like that. Which, personally, thank God.
They need a break.
I don't dislike any of those things inherently, but I think in the horror universe they're overused. Not even a little, a lot overused. So I find it quite refreshing that we might have a year devoid of the Halloween theme. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people love it, but you know it's gonna come back, so just relax.
It literally has been coming back every other year since 2014. So 30 season
Yeah.
of the witch.
I know.
Yes!
It'll be in 2-0.
That would be
Yes.
But
I'm
like,
ready for
and I will
that.
say this: 24 had some real gems though. Like I personally like that is the year I love. We had Dollhouse, we had Giggles and Gore, we had Roanoke. Those are some really strong originals that had cool things to do, and we had some great IPs that year as well. And the scare zones were pretty legendary.
You know, another sort of parallel, I remember of the years that I have attended, I would say 24 was the most quote unquote intense in the houses in terms of the gore, the content, that type of thing. And I feel like we're already kind of seeing that reflected this year with Nightingales, which I have a feeling is going to be extremely bloody.
Oh, it's in the name.
Mhm.
Like,
Exactly. If we get, yeah, Blood Pit. If we get House of a Thousand Corpses, that's also a
super
pretty
gory.
gory story. So I find it sort of, you know, it's like poetry. It rhymes.
well, I would say this is a note. I have seen all of Stranger Things too. It's not gory per se. There is more body horror.
Okay.
Just
That's
a
cool.
smidge, not a lot. It is still a mainstream television show. Actually, honestly, not to go back to Stranger Things completely, I enjoyed 2 because it was more scary and there are way more horror elements and even some interesting like monster and set design that would be great for a house. So I think it's going to translate really well.
I'm pretty excited. I haven't seen that season yet, and while Stranger Things was not necessarily my favorite house last year, I still thoroughly disagree with people who said that it wasn't scary. I got some really solid scares from the Demogorgons throughout the number of times I did that house. So I would love to see how they can ramp that up with more creatures and more horror elements, because I do think they can take something not scary and make it scary. Poltergeist is not an inherently scary movie, in my opinion. I mean,
When
it's
you're
got
older.
some things. When you're older, yeah. As an
When I was a
adult.
kid, it was very scary.
But the house, Red, is extremely scary to almost everybody. A lot of people claimed it as the scariest of the year, one of the scariest of all time, which hard disagree. But everybody has their own opinions. And I respect that.
I was
But
gonna
yeah,
say,
so I'm excited to see how they turn it out with Stranger Things. Honestly, because and I like that they have more to work with than just one season.
yeah, I mean that might make things, because last year it was kind of sparse. They made it a long maze, but they didn't make it a long maze, you know.
It was a lot of forest.
And it was a lot of empty spaces and a lot of walls, which, I mean, we all love a good wall, we all love a good ceiling, we all love a good staircase.
Shut up, John Murdy. We don't all love the walls.
My
I
God.
love staircases.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
love
saying
this too.
elements of houses are fun, and I mean,
Can you imagine
like,
a staircase in the monster's house, like a Dracula staircase?
Oh,
Spiral staircase.
Oh,
yes, and then I get to go
beautiful.
up it, and then I get to live there forever, and I'm one of his brides.
Whoever plays Dracula, you better do that cape thing real good.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
None
Do
of
the
this Michael Myers butt up tip like, you know.
No, yeah.
All right.
Butt up. I just pictured Michael Myers like doing that like a downward dog yoga pose, just butt in the air.
See, I was thinking, you know, like when the sexy swimsuit models eat cheeseburgers on cars and they're like on their knees with their butt way in the air. That, but it's Michael Myers.
His swimsuit is
John,
Get on this.
jumpsuit.
John Murdy cries in his hallway of black walls.
Okay.
Don't say his name a third time, he'll appear.
No, he'll
That
appear.
is definitely the 5th time gone.
Don't say his name a 17th time, he'll probably appear.
Okay, well, that about does it for everything in my notes. We can go ahead and get into plugs if that's okay with everybody.
Fine with me.
So hey, you can follow me at luckbealady21 on the Twitter. And I actually have a new podcast I'm working on. This is, if you think this podcast is niche, wait till you hear what I've got cooking.
Oh, baby.
So I've talked a couple times on this podcast and on my Twitter account. I'm a really big fan of The Crow, comic book, movie, all that stuff. So I'm making a podcast where I go through every iteration of The Crow, and there has been so many. It's so daunting. I have a placeholder episode out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and pretty much anywhere you can listen to it. I'm really excited about it. I'm still doing all of my research. I don't know when the first episode will be up, but I am going to go through every single thing that has ever come out of this story. And it's so scary, you guys. There's like 17 million comic series, print novels, like word novels, 4 movies, a TV show that lasted a season, a fucking PlayStation 1 video game.
Ooh,
Oh my
You're gonna have
god.
to play that game. You're gonna have to play it live. You're gonna have to
The game
live
is
stream playing that
terrible.
game.
It is one of the worst games ever made. You can ask anyone who played it. So anyway, that's my new project. It's called Bird Watching, which I thought was really funny. And it's coming soon. So that's my plug. And I recommend you go see Us by Jordan Peele because it's very good.
That was a good movie.
Excellent movie.
I want to write 3 essays about Us. And
It's not coming to Horror Nights, though. Stop saying that, people.
It's not coming to Horror Nights. I'd maintain that it would work if it did.
It could, but I don't know. If nothing else, I want pieces of the soundtrack to end up at Horror Nights.
You cannot tell me the isolated 5 on it is not coming to Horror Nights.
I don't think so.
In some capacity.
Yeah. Who wants to go next? Should I go next?
Sure.
All right. Well, follow my TikTok and my Twitter at Mel's Diane. Don't trust me.
She's famous.
No, I'm not.
TikTok is
But I'm
just
trying
weird.
to be. I'm trying to be. Feel free to follow me at Mel's Diane. That's with 2 L's. As far as other things, lately I've been participating in a really lovely laid-back Disney podcast called Dyslexic. You can find the Twitter account run by Scott on Twitter called Dyslexic. Podcast is also on Stitcher, Anchor, Spotify, I think a couple others. It's a lot of fun, super chill little Disney theme park podcast. A lot of fun, and yeah, that's all I can think of right now. Please check those things out. They're a lot of fun.
What are you doing later today?
Oh yeah, of course. Oh my god, I can't believe I almost forgot that. After this, I'll also be participating in my first ever episode of Grim Grinning Hosts, another fantastic podcast. Love those guys. They're a lot of fun. I know they're big supporters of ours. We're big supporters of them.
True.
And we're getting our first little taste of a crossover event. You thought Endgame was an epic crossover.
It's like my dick, Iron Man.
So, honestly. So Mistresses of Mayhem, Catacombs of Halloween Horror Nights, and Grim Grinning Hosts are all together. You're not going to be able to hear anything because we're all just going to be yelling about Clown Dick.
Get that Clown Dick. His name is Richard, sorry. Clown Richard, my bad.
Richard. So sorry. I hope I haven't offended you. My dad's name is Richard. I wish you hadn't said that.
I wish you don't see a lot of things, but here we are.
Oh my god, Darcy, plug your shit fast.
Okay, so you can follow my personal social media at Torch the Bats. I also have a photography account at Shoot the Bats in case you want to see Finding Nemo the musical and basically nothing else.
Yeah.
But they're really good Finding Nemo shots.
I'm
Yeah.
like, you think I'm exaggerating?
She's not.
I'm not. I am coming up on my 100th time seeing the show.
Ooh.
Like, literally,
Commitment.
I'm at 97 right now. It's
Girl, I've been seeing it since it opened, and I don't think I'm close to that.
I mean, to be fair, you don't literally show up, see the show multiple times, and then leave Animal Kingdom.
No, I didn't. I see it once every time I go to Animal Kingdom, though.
Lit. Anyway.
Are we plugging Finding Nemo the musical?
Yes.
It's our
Go
500
see Finding
episode.
Nemo the musical. Also, one more thing.
Yeah, go in.
44 days until Awesome Mix Live.
Ooh, my sweet baby child.
Specifically,
We're coming
44
back.
days, 16 hours, 57 minutes, and 43 seconds.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
terrified that you know that.
Everything about that was amazing.
Darcy, someday you're going to become the most prolific serial killer of all time with how thorough you are.
It's a compliment.
It is. Yeah, I meant that as a compliment.
Good.
But yeah,
Alright.
I love how we're plugging Disney shows now. If you haven't seen Country Bear Jamboree, guys, it's a great time.
Well, yes.
Don't forget to stop at Carousel of Progress.
Hey.
Hey, Connie.
Okay, hey everyone, my name's Connie.
No, we already did that.
Damn it! You can find me over at Twitter at Connie Wayne. That's ConniWayne. I am related to Bruce Wayne, and I am Batman. Sorry about that. On Twitter, nope, I already did Twitter. On Instagram, I'm at ConLaConCon. Just go to our Twitter, Mistresses of Mayhem, and we're all linked there. Again, please listen to us on whatever podcast medium you find appealing. There are only 3 episodes, but there will be more out soon because I am a busy bee and I like to do things. That's a lie. I'm very lazy.
But also, I just want to publicly thank you for actually like going through and putting up our catalog. Like that's amazing.
Yes.
I don't deserve that. Thanks.
No, you do. It's great.
No, Connie single-handedly is the reason that we are finally on platforms other than YouTube. And I'm very, very thankful for that. I think it's a great way for people to listen to us. It's a little bit easier than having to listen to a YouTube video because not all of us have YouTube Premium because who wants that shit?
I don't know. And I don't know how to get it on Stitcher and Google Music Play podcast. I'll figure it out.
One step at a time. I think Spotify is a great start.
Yeah, you can listen to us in car rides now, guys.
And Apple, yeah. If you have iTunes, we're on iTunes. One of my coworkers was like, "Ooh, you a podcast? I'm listening to it." And then she listened to it and she's like, "Ooh, you spooky, you funny." And then she stopped listening to it.
I love that for us.
I love that. Okay, well, I have a pizza to go avenge.
Yes.
So I think that's it for us.
Avengers Pizza Game?
I guess.
I can't.
Oh, yes.
I literally just started a podcast about vengeance stories and I couldn't work in a good joke that was good. So
Sorry.
I'm gonna go avenge my pizza, insert rad guitar solo. I don't know. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Stay tuned. Be weird. Be spooky. We'll see you next time.
Good night.